Hey folks, love Apocalypse Soon, want to support us? Check the links to this podcast and subscribe to all of our different content networks on YouTube, Patreon, EddiePepitone.com for all of his show dates. And now, let's get into the show. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, observers of nature, concerned parties, welcome to Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside, recorded in the flight path of beautiful Burbank Airport. And here he is, the beautiful Ray-Bans. I love the shirt. It matches the shorts. He's hilarious. He's my pal. He loves you. He wants to give you an emotional hug. It's Eddie Pepitone.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. It is Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside. Me and Kevin are not going to go out of these voices, these high-speed voices that sound like sportscasters who have been injured emotionally and physically. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Apocalypse Soon. How you doing there, Kevin?
I'm doing great out here. Beautiful day in the park. No, I'm doing fantastic. Another great day.
You look good. I told Kevin he looks good even though he's smoking nicotine through a vape pen. And, you know, look, John Lennon wrote a song, whatever gets you through the night.
Yes.
It's all right. It's all right.
Great
and
song.
It's we live in a in a society, in a world that is collapsing in on itself.
It really is.
Where, you know, the polarization of wealth, you know, it keeps going upward, and so fewer and fewer people have all this money, and we are at the beck and call of these people. So how can Kevin, I mean, I have the willpower, but how can a guy like Kevin not smoke
It's not fair.
nicotine?
Yeah, I mean, it does get me through the night, you know. And
Whatever gets, it does get you through the night.
You through the night. Dude, we got an Afghan over here? Oh, my goodness.
Yes, folks, this is the podcast where we describe dogs to you that you cannot see. I think that would be a great podcast where it's like just two guys. The dogs are fenced away from us, so they can't. But we're like, oh, my God, two different Afghans. One very shaggy, can't be comfortable in this heat. It's a white Afghan, and the other looks like part Afghan.
Yes.
I don't know, but it's a hairless Afghan. And speaking of hairless, I lost my hair when I was 14 years old. I would take a shower and the hair would fly off me.
Man, brute 14.
14.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine going bald? That's what built me. It gave me so much character and so much mental illness.
I think you should recite some sort of love letter to your early life hair loss, you know, because it did make you the man that you are today. You know, if you had a beautiful golden locks of hair, I think you'd be less funny. I'll say it. I'll say it right now.
Look, I don't know if you've ever seen Fabio do stand-up, but it's horrible. It's horrible. Brad Pitt's a funny guy, though. I was thinking of Brad Pitt. I was reading yesterday, and welcome, everybody, to Apocalypse Soon. We're podcasting in a lot of heat. That's another thing because... Oh, and the planes are here, and that, by the way, is on you, the planes, folks.
Yep.
The fact that we have to be here is somehow your fault.
It is.
But I was reading yesterday about Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie are still having financial finagling over their divorce that happened over a decade ago. They apparently both owned a vineyard in France. Pitt still has ownership, but Jolie I think this is so funny that I was reading this because I like Brad Pitt. Like
I do too.
I'm a big Brad Pitt fan.
I like him too. He seems like a guy you'd want to, you know, have a beer with or something, hang out with.
Oh, I just would like to ravish him.
Oh yes, dude. When he takes his shirt off in the Hollywood Story, the Tarantino.
Beautiful. Every guy, straight guy, who looks at that is like, God damn, and straight guys, right?
Yes.
forget about, homosexual men who look at that. They're like, anyway. Folks, what we see out here is not only dogs, but we see tremendously well-endowed people,
Yes.
shirtless, and a guy just walked by with just tremendous definition.
Great back muscles.
Great back muscles,
Solid.
tremendous definition. I wish you could see it, folks. And I am not aroused sexually, but I am aroused in an angry way. I don't like people, men, who walk around like this. I feel like they're strutting. Peacocking, if you will.
I think so.
Peacocking, if you will, by the way, is one of my favorite bands. Have you seen Peacocking, if you will, at the Will Turn?
What kind of band are they?
A very good band.
Wow.
They're extremely handsome.
Peacocking, if you will.
Anyway, it's funny that so I really kind of like Brad Pitt because I think he's funny and a good dramatic actor. And besides being incredibly handsome,
yes.
and this is back to my point that you look at a guy like him as a straight man and you're like, God damn it, I do, this is me, this is me. I go, I do look like him when I'm having a good day. Like I convince myself that my face is beautiful. I know that my body, look, I let my body go for you people, okay? In order to be a good comedian, you have to have all kinds of problems. First emotionally, and then physically. Because you can't be a well-adjusted people, very well-adjusted people, which there are fewer and fewer. I'm just like ranting, and you're like,
No, I love a rant.
Yeah.
I've always felt that my job on this podcast was to facilitate rants. And so anytime you get going, if it's on Brad Pitt's beautiful body, or the medical industry, or my inability to get away from all my addictions, I think it all adds to the casserole of Pepitone.
The casserole. I love the word casserole when it's not used for a literal casserole.
Yes.
I don't like literal casseroles. I find them to be heavy. I don't like glass pots.
No,
I feel like anything that's served in a glass pot is suspect.
Okay.
Because methamphetamine is made with glass tubing.
I didn't even put it together, but that holds water. That holds water.
Folks, we're just trying to get to 45 minutes.
That's right. Just trying.
Let me just put it that way. We're in extreme heat. Now that we don't, we haven't had a studio for a while, and it's been okay, but now the chickens are coming home to roost.
Yes.
We are now going to be broadcasting in extreme heat.
We'll be recording an episode on the face of the sun.
Well, basically, we're in the shade, which is good, and there's a breeze today. So I think we're okay.
I think we're all right. There's a very vocal minority that doesn't like these park episodes, so they're probably.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, there's one guy, and on
what is it? Why doesn't he like it?
I don't know. He says it's
he's got to give a reason.
No, well, it's like this. It's kind of a vague, like it's just not the same. You got comedy's got to be in a box. You got to put it in a room. It's kind of this vagary. And I mean, I understand what he's saying.
Let me tell you
but,
something, sir, madam, whoever doesn't like the fact that we do it in a podcast, do it in a park. Me and Kevin and I, we bring you the insanity, the seriousness, no matter what the venue. And we are out here, yes, we're influenced by the wide open space. I think it would be different. It will be interesting. Do you think we'll ever get back into a studio?
I do think we will. I
hope it's soon.
I've got a lead on. So the Improv is going to be doing their own podcast studio.
All right,
and we are number one on the list.
Are we?
Yes, we are. I'm.
The only thing I don't like about that is that it's far away from me.
Yeah,
I mean, not that far, But
yeah, you've had a real charmed existence living right by the park over here. You can roll out of bed.
you know
and
what I
just
was thinking today is
crawl over.
Yeah, I like that. That's for sure. But you know what I was thinking today is that I was thinking because, I realized that weather porn, they call it, like the way they are talking about the weather is a little sensationalistic, like extreme heat engulfing the net, like.
Yes.
And I totally get sucked into that rabbit hole, and I was thinking because of the extreme heat today, and it feels like I'm fine. Are you fine here?
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, all it takes is one malfunction of some sort of cooling system in my life, and I will be disheveled completely. If my AC goes out, I'm screwed.
How is your AC? Does it go out occasionally in the hot months?
It has gone out before. Yeah, we do the old 1930s style of placing a big block of ice in front of a fan, and that's how we do it.
Did they do that?
Oh, I do
big
that.
Block.
Oh,
you
yeah.
have done that?
I have done that.
Where do you get the big blocks of ice?
7-Eleven. Yeah, I'll go to 7-Eleven, get a big block. We go outside.
I thought maybe you had the Three Stooges deliver it. And by the way, for the young people out there, Three Stooges were a trio. Well, a trio of Stooges comedians who never got residuals, wound up in penury, and died young. At least Curly did, and Larry and Moe didn't have great later lives.
Well, and the physical toll that their bodies took.
Oh man, they got fucked up.
The comedy that they did was so physical, and they had no money or health insurance, and a lot of those guys,
Curly was a big drinker. But anyway, we could go on about the Three Stooges, but Three Stooges and Laurel and Hardy, was that the 40s, 50s, 50s maybe, 40s?
I feel like it was.
I have no
around the
retention of information.
Yeah, I feel like because the 50s is, To the Moon, Alice. Who's that guy?
Jackie Gleason.
Gleason, yeah.
No, he was 60s, 70s.
Was he 60s, 70s? See, I'm way off.
All right, so now I know not to trust you.
Most of my references are from movies where somebody goes back in time.
Anyway, Laurel and Hardy and the Three. I'm sorry, folks, about Kevin. I could take this moment to talk about Kevin a little bit and to say that Kevin's getting help. By the way, where did my timer go, you fucking piece of shit?
Oh, it's right there.
But Three Stooges and Laurel and Hardy, they had episodes where they had blocks of ice and they had to deliver them up the steps. Huge blocks of ice, and by the time they got it into the house, it was an ice cube. That was the joke, you know. Those were classic episodes.
That's a great bit. That's
a great bit.
But yeah, it does work. It works very well.
They filmed it over here in Echo Park. As a matter of fact, the stairs.
Did they really?
Yes. The stairs that Laurel and Hardy used are still marked, saying these are the stairs.
That's so cool.
That Laurel and Hardy, and also the staircase where Michael Peterson killed his wife is marked still.
Oh.
Like if you buy the Peterson home, you will see that little plaque saying Kathleen Peterson.
You remember the Scott Peterson murders where
what is it with the Petersons?
I don't know. That guy. So the lady.
That was a pregnant wife.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, she was pregnant.
Hello, little doggy. Can everybody see the beagle?
No, I don't think they can see it.
Hello, beagle.
Come here, buddy.
But go ahead.
So the Scott Peterson. So remember his wife was pregnant, killed, dumped in the lake or whatever.
What lake was it?
Or maybe it was San Francisco area or Sacramento or something. I can't remember.
It was a lake though, and there is a plaque where she was thrown off the boat.
Yes, but
it's a buoy with her name on it and height and measurements.
Yes, that's right. The memorial buoy.
Memorial buoy. I don't know why this is funny to me. I've stopped watching the true crime shit.
Oh, that's a big breakthrough.
It's a pretty big breakthrough.
But that girl, Scott Peterson had an affair, which was the whole thing that kind of busted it open. So the lady that he had an affair with, I know.
Are you serious?
I'm friends with her, yes. And she used to come to comedy shows in Fresno.
Get the fuck
all the
outta
time,
here.
yeah. So we're friends on Facebook and everything. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
That's fucked up, dude.
I know. She didn't know. She was just she didn't even know he was married. You know, she would just
She's not very
no.
with it.
She was a cute young, college girl at that time, I think, and Scott Peterson was just getting horned up,
That's fucked up that she didn't know that. Anyway.
Yeah, it's brutal.
So back to where we were in the opening thread.
Yes.
We're back here, so hopefully we'll have a studio. And I just want to say we give the best podcast we can out here.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to be too inhibited, even if I see people around me, And
Beautiful, well-endowed people.
Some of them aren't, though. Let's be fair.
Yes, but
there are a bunch of people out here that are just eyesores, right? I mean, I'm looking at one guy now, and he's a guy who didn't take. I'll describe him to you, folks. He's a guy who hasn't taken care of himself, it seems to me, and now he's walking in a lot of heat, which is stupid, and he's got on a black T-shirt, which is stupid. By the way, the people who exercise, let me tell you something, and you know who you are.
Get upset about this, all right?
I am upset.
I need you to let's get some passion.
I am upset.
I need you to be more angry.
I am upset. The people who exercise in this heat, in extreme heat, people who jog, because I see people running here, you're fucking assholes. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You fucking idiots. Wait till the sun goes down. You're just depleting yourself. You're the type of people who have heat stroke. You know.
Yeah, you're a weight on the
medical
healthcare industry that
that's already broken because of private equity firms.
That's right.
That come and raid corporations. They're corporate raiders. Private equity. Look up private equity and how they fuck us. And private equity is basically hedge funds, which is another word for these rich fucks who get together, have all this money, and they'll buy a hospital, let's say.
Yep.
And then they'll start cutting jobs. They'll start cutting what they call fat, which is just services, closing down hospital rooms, decimating the hospital, and then healthcare in certain areas is unaffordable and inaccessible. Yep. And that's the country we live in. Yes, we have Six Flags.
We do. We have a lot of them. We got a lot of Six Flags out here. Yeah, the
Six Flags. It should be called Sick Flags.
It really should. When's the last time you rode a roller coaster?
A long time ago.
We got to get you out there.
I am not a roller coaster guy. I don't like roller coasters. I'll tell you why, folks. I am very risky psychologically, like on stage and stuff, and putting myself out there. But let me tell you something. I don't do well on roller coasters.
No?
You're a roller coaster guy. You have kids.
I do.
You all get on the fucking roller coaster to forget the fact that your bills are out of control.
Yeah, we use a Pepsi can to get into Six Flags for cheaper, because you can use that Six Flags.
Is that true?
Oh, yeah. It's like $5 to get in. It's amazing. It's fantastic. Yeah, we used to go to Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, Six Flags, SeaWorld. Like we had, when they were really young, we were always going to those places. And my kids would give me a run for my money. I'd get sick. And they'd be like, Dad, come on, just do it again. I'm like,
so they love
this one out.
You have 2 or 3 kids?
2.
2, boy and a girl.
Yeah.
Does the girl, what's her name?
Anne
and
Will.
What?
Will.
Anne and Will. Do they equally, does Anne like the roller coaster as much as you guys?
More, yes.
Oh my God, okay.
Yeah, the kids.
So I'm being sexist thinking that the girl wouldn't like it as much.
No, she loves it. And I think she just loves it because she got to go with her friends for the junior high graduation recently. And so all of her friends went, and she's been there so many times that she got to be like the leader and be like, let's go on the Ninja. And she had a friend who was scared, and she like convinced them to go on the roller coaster. And Yeah, so she's a little daredevil. They're wild, and they don't get sick, and they can go ride these things over and over again.
By the way, on a day like today, and the heat is starting to come here in LA, it's going to get worse and worse. I read we're going to start going into the mid 90s, upper 90s, and where you're from in Fresno, it's just a bloodbath of heat,
dude.
But you guys are used to that shit.
There's nothing that will make you used to it. I was down there for a wedding. And
oh yeah,
I'm telling you,
that's the last time we spoke. You were going to a wedding.
I was at a wedding. It was a nice breeze. I was by a lake. All the factors to make it cooler, and it was like swimming in a goo of just hot the whole time.
Why
it was
would
brutal.
someone have an outdoor wedding?
It was beautiful
in that kind of weather.
The place it was at. It's called Wolf Lakes.
Were people passing out? Like,
No.
was there a medical EMT at the wedding?
No, there was no incidents, luckily. But I did get out of there before the dancing started because I had to drive back to LA. So
I thought that was great of you to go down and do that wedding.
Well, I love my niece so much. She's such a sweet person, and
because I would have bagged. I would have been like, you know what? I have a leak, either pipes or out of my ass, like some kind of leak.
Well, God forbid my in-laws ever watch this podcast, but I'll tell you what, Eddie, I've got some excuses.
Good.
My family's literally just coming back from Bass Lake where they stayed.
You were trying to get me to do a gig up there.
Well,
is that the gig place?
No. Well, so I'm sorry, I misspoke. It was Shaver Lake. Bass Lake is the place with the gig. And
the
November,
hell goes on with you?
I might get you up there in November because it'll be nice and cool, maybe even snowing a little bit.
Well, oh really?
Yeah. But no, they just came back from Shaver Lake. I didn't go because I had 2 gigs.
By the way, Shaver Lake, wow. You see so many hairless people over there.
Oh,
Shaver Lake.
That's right.
They have these they have these boards that they strap people down to, and they just shave every bit of hair.
I mean, it's a natural phenomenon that happens over there. If you want to be hairless, go to Shaver Lake.
Go to Shaver Lake.
Yep.
Hello, I'm Bob from Shaver Lake Industries. Do you have unwanted hair? Come to Shaver Lake and I'll get every little bit of hair off you. I don't care where it is. Do you have a stray hair coming out of your ass crack? I will shave it and I will bag it for you. I will bag all the hairs I shave and send them to your enemies.
Shaver Lake, come for the water, stay for the shaving.
So go ahead. I've interrupted you.
No.
The bit. Yeah,
it's quite all right. No, but yeah, I got out of it. I didn't go. So it was. I got those
When
family
was that?
excuses. I mean, they're coming back today. They've been gone for like 5 days. So,
you were supposed to go to Shaver Lake?
I wasn't supposed to go because my wife kind of knows.
My wife,
she gets it. So yeah, it's. I'm like, I can't go up there for 5 days. I got too much. A disappointment to gather, and I got too many situations where I could be frustrated about my progress in life.
Let's talk about that a little bit. We've been talking about other things, but the career of Kevin Tinkin, the career of Eddie Pepitone. We're out here in 90-degree heat.
Yes,
I mean, other people have beautiful podcast studios.
They do.
Where people who are in touch with nature. Tell us what is going on. Have you had some good shows lately? Are you frustrated more than usual?
I'm getting to a zen place. I really am.
That's the place to be.
And because I disappointment at the Improv, with a couple of things, trying to get some, official regularity with getting booked there. I was having a bit of a temper tantrum, with it. And I finally was like, I started thinking, what if everything had happened? I'm like, it wouldn't have made it doesn't make any difference in the long run. I got to get famous online and then everything else will come and whatnot. But I've just been having
famous
fun.
online.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. Cause that's, you go to
Why
any
don't
of
you
these
start
places.
opening up gifts? You remember the people who,
Yes.
I think that fad or trend has passed, but people would get many
Millions.
thousands or millions of the plane. By the way, this is a beautiful Southwest plane. It's diving. It's Al Qaeda.
Opening like kids gifts has huge amounts online, like Lego opening, or these type of things online. You go on there, there'll be tens of millions of views.
People would watch, and it would just be, you would just see, I think, tell me if I'm wrong, you would just see the hands of someone opening it.
That's it. Yep.
And people like to watch, instead of prepackaged, slick TV or movies, they like to just watch like someone opening a gift.
Yeah.
What is that about?
I don't know.
I remember one time I said, all right, let me finally watch it. And of course I would stumble on something. Someone opened up a gift and it turned out to be a horse's head, and it was a message sent to them.
From the mob.
I didn't know they didn't warn. There was no warning on the YouTube that they screamed. And I love horses, so that was hard to watch.
That would be an amazing.
Got taken down from YouTube immediately.
You have everything. It appears to just be a regular gift opening video.
Yes, and you hear the voice, which is like, "Okay, children."
Yeah. It's the music. Boom,
oh, and yeah. And then like it's like, and then she's still, whoever's opening it, she, him. And she still doesn't know exactly what it is. And then she pulls it out, and then like,
it's a severed ear.
Right.
That would be great. Well, Eddie, I think we've got 15 minutes left, and I think we owe it to the people to give them some classic Eddie Pepitone sketches.
All right. I guess we should get started at the beginning, which is guided.
I mean, go back
Let's
to
get
the beginning.
everybody, centered and grounded.
Take a deep breath and let out all your concerns on another episode of Guided Meditation with Eddie Pepitone.
All right, everybody. I hope you're in a beautiful environment like me and Kevin. We can hear the clucking of a crow, or the caw of a crow. I love the clucking and the cawing, which is also a sound that people who are buried alive make when they are buried alive. If you have ever been present at a ceremony where people are buried alive, you will hear them make that sound as well. But what I want you to do is put that out of your mind, the fact that there are people who get buried alive. And I'm not just talking about people who are the recipients of an Israeli genocide and they get buried alive under buildings by the brutality of the Western empires. No, I'm talking about acting rituals where people get buried alive. Look up Jerry Grotowski. Anyway, with your first in-breath, I want you to breathe in all of your money. Breathe in all the money you have in the bank. And if it's less than $30, I want you to take this meditation off. If it's over $700, you can participate in this but breathe in the comfort that money gives you. $700 in the bank, or whatever you have in the bank, $1,000. Some of you have had your parents leave you money. Maybe you have $80,000, and that'll last you a good month and a half, depending on your alcohol, cocaine, and fentanyl consumption. But breathe in the comfort that money gives you. And with your first out breath, I want you to breathe out all of the exhaust fumes that me and Kevin are breathing in from the airplane above head. It looks like another Southwest plane, and it looks like it has been hijacked. It is coming toward the land. I want you to breathe out all the exhaust and all the toxicity that is in your life. I want you to hear the cluck, cluck, clucking of this crow behind us. The crow is happily clucking because it has $100,000 in the bank left to it by Father Crow, by its daddy. Crows pass down great monetary wealth, more than humans. And now with your next in-breath, I want you to breathe in all the tension that is being felt right now in small grocery stores. I'm talking about very small stores, little bodegas, little markets where the items are just crowded together, and there's always a few sketchy people in these stores, and you can sense the desperation as you're trying to get a coconut milk or condensed milk. A lot of people don't get condensed milk anymore because of basically propaganda against condensed milk. And I want you to breathe in the fact that me and Kevin have picked the wrong time to be out here because there's a lot of planes right now taking off. Breathe in the fact that you really can hear us, and that this meditation is not going well. And with your final out breath, and I mean your final out breath, I want you to breathe out all the things that are troubling you, like the sketchy people in small markets, sketchy people in sketchy outfits, sketchy people who are only sketchy because they don't have money. They are called sketchy because they've been driven to the periphery of our society by poverty, which is spreading. Breathe that out. You don't need to have that in your head anymore. I want you to breathe out that toxicity and breathe in with your final in-breath before you pass away. And by the way, passing away and dying is feared by a lot of people, but it's a great, sweet release. To pass away and to die is nothing but, for most of you, a tremendous upswing.
And thanks for joining us on another guided meditation with Eddie Pepitone. Today's episode of Apocalypse Soon is sponsored by Mint Mobile.
Wow, do you know who owns Mint Mobile?
No.
Ryan Reynolds.
Really?
An actor who's doing very well. I mean, I can't believe he owns Mint Mobile. I mean, as far as as an actor, I just barely pay my rent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not diversifying your.
I'm not diversifying like Reynolds. Mint Mobile.
Yeah, he owns a cell phone company. It's wild. If you're paying more than $15 a month for your cell phone plan,
I'm paying way more than that.
Yeah, they're telling you you're doing it wrong. You shouldn't have to break the bank for quality coverage with your cell phone. Mint Mobile has you covered with plans starting at $15 a month. This isn't some basic bare bones plan either. We're talking high-speed data, unlimited talk and text, delivered on the nation's largest 5G network.
Wow. And Ryan Reynolds stands behind it.
He does.
And if you've seen La La Land, was that Ryan Reynolds?
Yes. So, was it? No, that was Gosling.
Look, whether it's Ryan Reynolds or Ryan Gosling, you're in good hands.
That's right. The sexual attractiveness level of other carriers out there will not hold a candle
Absolutely
to Ryan
not.
Reynolds' attractiveness.
Absolutely
and,
not.
I have 2 kids. I got both my kids on Mint Mobile. We've had it for years. They get our old phones.
Daddy, I want to be on the mobile network that Ryan Reynolds owns.
Papa, he's so hot. Can I be on his mobile network? To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/pep. That's mintmobile.com/pep. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/pep. $45 up payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on a first 3-month pay-only, speed slower above 40 gigabytes on an unlimited plan. Additional taxes and restrictions apply.
I just think that I like to leave everybody with a good message that dying, is an improvement for most people, I would say.
Absolutely. The pain,
from what I see.
The pain's over. The pain's over, and it's
you don't
time
have
to
to
take a
fight
load off.
for everything.
Yeah. Yep.
This is such a dog-eat-dog capitalist, late stage capitalist society, and it's become, just murderous.
It's too bad. It's really too bad. It
is, but Six Flags.
But Six Flags.
Is this a good time to go to Six Flags?
I mean,
late stage capitalism?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if you can get a hold of a Pepsi can to get yourself a discount.
Is Pepsi still doing that promo?
I think they are. I'm not sure, though. I mean, I know it was something that we used to do a lot, but I'm not sure if
When's
they're
the
still
last
doing
time you've been on a roller coaster?
Oh, probably like 3-4 years ago. Not too long ago.
Oh, but not too recently.
Not too recent.
You may be due, bud.
I may be due. It might be time to get out there to get to the Ninja or the Superman ride. There's so many good ones. The Colossus. We need to get you out there. I think that would be some good extra content for people. Like a front-facing camera, us on a roller coaster, going in the loop, you freaking out a little bit would be hilarious. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
You know what? I'm not gonna say no. I am gonna wait for the results of my prostate biopsy.
Yes.
Before I go on, because if you have a biopsy that isn't up to snuff, they won't let you on the ride.
No,
matter of fact,
sir.
they measured my prostate last time.
They measured it.
They can measure your prostate. It's done with ultrasound.
Is this your way of you want to brag about the size of your prostate? Is this...
Look, I don't want to brag about the size of my prostate. As you get older, it enlarges.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, if it gets big enough, you could sell it. And you could sell it on eBay. That'd be funny if you're driving over to someone's house to buy their prostate on Craigslist, like, it must go today.
I need it out of here. You can get some good deals on Craigslist like that. A desperate person who's moving.
Have you ever bought something on Craigslist?
Oh yeah,
I never have.
Oh yeah.
I just always feel like I'm going to be murdered, like going into somebody's house.
Yeah.
My luck, it'll be someone distantly related to the person who killed the Black Dahlia.
That always happens. The dang Black Dahlia line of succession.
Yeah,
it'll mess with you. Yeah, no, I bought a lot of electronics that were broken that I fixed.
Is that right?
Craigslist. Yeah.
And it's very cheap, right? Like cheap,
incredibly cheap.
What would you buy?
I bought a couple of PlayStations. On there, and then fixed them up. And
I never had a PlayStation. What is that good for?
Video games.
Right. Video games. Are they more popular than ever?
I think so. Yeah. There are some. I saw something that said that the video game industry makes significantly more money than the entire movie industry.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's
well,
it's
one of the
huge.
biggest things on the streamer now is a video game turned into a show called Fallout. We
Yep.
know a couple of people on there.
Yep, Johnny Pemberton did
Johnny
a great
Pemberton.
job. Yep, and that one and the Last of Us was a video game that got made into a show that was also very
That
very
was
good.
a video game?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They actually stayed pretty loyal to the actual storyline of the video game.
Who develops the ideas? Because they're obviously doing, end of the world scenarios.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
I'm partial to because, it taps into a zeitgeist. It just seems like the natural world it doesn't seem like it's true. I mean, we already have a couple of really big wildfires here,
Yes.
right?
I think you would be great in an end of the world video game. As a character you come up to, maybe you sell salt or something, and you gotta go.
Why is salt in demand?
Oh, I don't know. Just like
you just
a random thing, some quest you have to
Right.
complete.
I sell salt, but my catch, my hook for people is that it's already in the shaker. So I sell salt not in blocks, but in little shakers.
Like, oh man, your salt's kind of expensive, man. I don't know if I can afford this.
Right.
And you're like, well, it's already in the shaker, though. You don't take that into account when you're buying salt from the other guys. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a little limping canine over here.
I don't want to look at limping doggies because I get mad at the owners for not taking care of them.
Yeah. Hey, I had a good idea for a sketch. I thought.
What do you got?
So because
Should we do it now?
Yeah. I mean, if you're down, I'm just throwing this at you.
Yeah.
But no, I went
I'm
to the
down.
wedding, and I thought you would do well in a situation where it's a character that when the pastor goes, if anybody has an objection to the union of Terry and Jim, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Okay.
And I thought you could be the guy in the audience who has objections to the wedding.
Okay, let's do it.
You like that? Is that?
Yeah,
that gives you
let's
some freedom.
go for it. I mean, we have about you can see the time we're at.
Oh yeah, it's a solid. Well, dearly beloved, we're gathered here to join a beautiful union. Terry and Christina here, and we are so happy, and we've just followed this journey, and we just are. What a beautiful union here today. So without further ado, if there's anybody that objects to this union here, please speak now or forever hold your peace.
Yeah. I want to object to the wedding of Marsha and Mike.
I believe it's Terry.
What?
Terry.
Oh. Never mind. I thought it was Marsha.
Oh no, this is Terry here.
Oh, I'm in the wrong wedding hall. Is this 2582 Providence Avenue?
It is, yeah.
Oh, and that's Terry?
Yeah, Terry and I think, what did I say, Michelle? I can't remember what the other name
Oh,
was.
it's a
here.
gay wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm definitely in the wrong place. I don't know. Well, I guess I want to object to it, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know either one of you, and God bless you, Terry and Michelle, but I just want to say I don't think you should get married because we, as a species, we just haven't evolved enough to love each other. And I'm looking at the both of you. You're a little out of shape. And I think before you marry, you should both shed. I would say, Terry, can you raise your hand who Terry is? Okay. I think you need to lose 20 pounds. And Michelle, I would say 18. And I think you need to do high-protein diet, no matter how many factory farm animals are brutally murdered. And high protein, and try to stop the carbs. Get an indoor bicycle. An indoor bicycle works very well. I have one, and that's how I stay. My body mass index is not good, but it isn't as bad as my friend Nick, who recently was buried alive. And he was buried alive by a bunch of us just to save him. And we buried him alive to teach him a lesson. And he would make these sounds like a crow, caw, caw. So anyway, I'm going to object to the wedding based on weight. And also, Michelle, can you raise your hand again so I can see which one is Michelle? Okay, there you go. Michelle, also, if I were you, I would look very hard at perhaps getting your hair done differently. I mean, the way it's falling right now, it doesn't look layered properly to me. I went to beauty school very briefly when I was going through my serial killer phase, when I would go to beauty school just to scope out victims, and I learned a lot about layering and killing.
And thanks for joining us on another Objections with Eddie Pepitone.
Wow, I that went in a direction
I mean,
I didn't know.
well, it's a good exercise for me as an improviser. I throw something out, you throw it. I go, all right. We're moving here. I'm yes-anding. It's a real gauntlet.
It's a gauntlet.
It's a gauntlet. Well, how are we feeling?
We're at time.
We are at time. Do you got any words of wisdom, any love you want to throw out there? Any last words?
All right. Let's try to think of. There's a lot of beauty in the world. Mm-hmm. I'm looking, and I say that because I'm looking at this. I believe those are pomegranate.
Yes, they are. Yeah,
they're pomegranate trees. They're beautiful, and the way they're swaying in the wind and is beautiful. And though I talk about things that are real, which climate breakdown and polarization of wealth, we have to go inward, see the beauty, accept reality, surrender to what it is, and trust in that. People who don't know what I mean are assholes.
Yes.
I think that's all I want to say.
I love it.
As far as wisdom is, like, get into nature as much as you can. And you don't have to have money to do that. I'm talking about just be around some trees, which just about everybody can. Mm-hmm. Be around some trees, meditate on the stillness, the beautiful stillness of trees, It's amazing.
Yeah, go for a walk. I get so stuck in my head sometimes, and then I'll go up
that's
and
where
I'll
you
see
don't
it.
want to be.
Yeah,
you have to develop a way to get out of your head and out of your mind. They have it wrong when they say, "Oh, he's out of his mind," meaning that's bad. No, getting out of your mind is a good thing, because the mind is nothing but a major fucking problem.
it is.
It just creates problems. So get out of your mind and get into the now. Get into acceptance and surrender.
I love it. Beautiful.
And please visit eddiepepitone.com.
Mm-hmm. Surrender to it.
I'm going out on the road. I'm going to be doing Cleveland Hilarities June 27th. Pittsburgh Bottle Rocket June 28th. Lancaster, Pennsylvania,
Ooh.
June 29th. And the Bearsville Theater in Woodstock, New York, June 30th. So please come to these shows. Pittsburgh, Lancaster, and Bearsville with Chris Gethard.
Oh.
JT Habersat will be opening in Pittsburgh and Cleveland. And that's it.
Man, that is a mind not clouded by marijuana smoke. You pulled out those dates and names. I mean, wow. You didn't look at your phone, nothing.
No.
Very impressive.
I've been sober now. I smoked a little after the special.
Yeah.
But now I have a solid 18 days.
Okay. That's pretty good. It's better than I can say, for sure. Well,
that's why I hang with you.
Yeah.
You make me feel good.
Yeah. It's a nice to compare yourself to me because it feels right. It feels good.
It's great.
Oh, well, beautiful. Well, hey, I want to give a quick shout out to some of our Patreons. Liz says, I can't wait for your next special, Eddie. Kisses and hugs. Andrew says, pretty sexual this week. It didn't start that way from the episode 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I remember the sexual stuff, it happens. I think it's pretty funny. Sometimes it happens when I'm very tired.
Yes, yeah. I get the same way when I'm feeling very silly and tired.
Yeah.
I get a little horny with the comedy. It's always fun. Max says, "Show me a sailor who isn't drunk, and I'll show you a sailor who isn't a good sailor." What a saying. I'm excited to see the new special. Debbie Saviano also went to your show.
Right.
Alex went to the show. I want to give a shout out to him. Thank you guys so much for being a part.
Yeah, thank you guys for emailing us. It's, what is it, Pep Talks Podcast at Gmail?
Eddie Pep Podcast at gmail.com.
Eddie Pep Podcasts at gmail.com. Drop us a line. Even though I don't respond to a lot directly, I love them. I love reading it, and you just read a couple, which I love. Well, comments, yeah. Oh, those were actually comments, not emails.
Not emails.
We should have an episode where I was thinking about this, where we read the emails too.
We should do that. We'll do that in the next one. We got a couple emails to read. Yeah, shout out to Emily as well from 3 days ago. She said if the podcast describing dogs in the park could be tweaked to include what Max said, but with the voice of an Italian alien, that I would upgrade to a circus membership. And thanks, Max. He gave me a nice shout out for the editing on the cop sketch. Which I should show you because I don't think I showed you that yet. But thank you so much for tuning in to Apocalypse Soon. If you want to support this podcast, like Eddie said, EddiePepitone.com. You can see this man live and see him doing what he does best. And then go over to YouTube, subscribe over there. We're just coming on the brink of 2,000 subscribers. We'd love for you to help us break that goal, and we'll get you some content every week. You get this podcast the day that it comes out if you're a Patreon member, and you'll get you a T-shirt if you're a $20 circus member. And YouTube, Patreon, EddiePepitone.com, EddiePepPodcast at gmail.com if you want to reach out to us.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching Apocalypse Soon, the podcast with no upside.